You know what really bugs me?
I have a feeling you're about to tell me.
At no point does Ellie tell Dina, Jesse, or Tommy that the fungus has mutated and is now airborne. You'd think that's some super important information people who aren't immune should be aware of.
So this episode doesn't actually start with a flashback as we feared it might.
Which means we don't know how she escaped the hospital or how she managed to evade the wolves who knew she was there, because Nora did sound the alarm before dying through torture and spore inhalation.
There's a lot of stuff that didn't make sense, like when Ellie took the boat to get to Abby's hiding place, and because it capsized, she somehow ended up on the island of the Scar people with her fully functioning boat right next to her.
Yeah, how does that work? How could she get there before Isaac's army did? And what was the point of it anyway? It didn't further the story in any way, and we didn't learn a thing.
Well, we learned the Scar people will kill anyone that crosses their path, wolf or no wolf, and that the first ones we met were a more peaceful group.
Which must explain why they left, but still, that entire section just got in the way of this episode's action.
What was better was the growing realization that revenge is self-destructive.
If you set out on a path of revenge, you first dig 2 graves. I'm starting to think Mouse is stuck in a time loop.
Yeah, but he's right. And this is rammed home so strongly in this episode when Ellie finally meets up with 2 members of Abby's team.
Okay, that was horrific and very well acted. If that didn't satiate Ellie's desire for revenge, I don't know what would.
And everything seems okay. Until the end.
I can't believe what happened to Jesse.
And it was so quick too. But Abby has no reason to keep Tommy alive, so why did she?
To draw the others in.
But after that, there's no point. And the episode ends on one hell of a cliffhanger.
No, it doesn't. That cliffhanger, shocking though it was, mind, wasn't the ending. We then have a dreaded flashback back to day 1 in Seattle, and we're going to see it from Abby's point of view. As if we care about her at all.
And we won't know for a while.
What do you mean by that?
Well, this was the season finale.
Come again?
There's only 7 episodes this season.
What the actual hell? You can't end a season like that.
You can, and they have. Despite a few problems, this was a good episode.
And a highly frustrating finale.
Ellie's actions have devastating consequences, and it's hard to see how she'll get out of that one.
My money's on Dina. I bet she's the one who shot. Actually, come to think of it, how did Abby know where they were anyway?
Well, how did Jesse know where Ellie and Dina were 2 episodes ago?
If Ellie's so easy to track, how did no one follow her when she left the hospital?
So the story will...
Don't! That's always the worst excuse.
So yeah, there are big plot holes and inconsistencies, but the emotional impact of this episode was very strong and so relatable.
Why? You set out on a path of revenge yourself?
Never mind that. So we're left with a horrible ending to an otherwise mostly okay finale.
No, it was a terrible finale. I mean, in the old days, you would have to wait over the summer before the show started again, so 3 or 4 months tops. Here, there was a 2-year gap between season 1 and 2. They expect us to wait 2 years to see what happens next? Outrageous.
So, these were our thoughts on the Last of Us episode Convergence. But what did you think of it? Leave your thoughts in the comments, and if you like what we do,
and how we do it,
and you feel you'd like to help us out,
please consider joining our Patreon.
As long as you can afford it, of course.
We'll leave a link to it in the description and pinned comment.
Thanks for watching, and we'll speak to you again next time.